Welcome back to the channel, your home for independent political commentary, analysis, and entertainment.
This is crazy.
We're going to talk about a serious story that's genuinely kind of blowing
detestable,
my mind, and that has to do with some bombshell revelations about the Trump family's massive profit from their crypto businesses. I guess we'll call them businesses, though some of this is like meme coins and
scam coins,
very dubious enterprises that
dishonest,
are suspect rather than necessarily legitimate businesses or commodities like a Bitcoin. Anyway, before we get into that, the context that I need y'all to understand that I'm coming to this story from is somebody that came up in conservative media, right-wing media, and there was for years a lot of, admittedly justified in many cases, outrage and concern about things like Hunter Biden, for example, the former President Joe Biden's son. President Joe Biden as well, his son Hunter was profiting off the family name, was getting appointed to the boards of Ukrainian energy companies despite not knowing anything about energy. It was one of those things that was obviously a massive red flag of self-dealing. There were similarly lots of allegations about corruption and paper play with the Clinton Foundation, with Hillary Clinton as Secretary of State. And I took all of that very seriously, as did much of conservative media. In fact, there was, constant breaking news coverage of it. But now that Trump is president and making billions of dollars off of highly suspect business enterprises his family is directly involved in, presenting clear conflicts of interest, and selling access to the presidency.
Crazy.
You're just literally not going to see
his net worth nearly tripled, bro. Or these kinds his net worth before he took office for the second time was $5.1 billion. It was $5.1 billion. His net worth before he took office for the second time was $5.1 billion. Then it shot up to $6.5 billion in 1 year, bro. It is His net worth was 5.1, then it's increased to 6.5 billion in 1 year. The increase was 1.4 billion. Nuts. Yo, his total personal revenue was 2.2 billion. Under the 2.2 billion, he made 1.4 billion from the cryptocurrency, bro. Under the part of the 1.4 billion came from the Trump meme coin. 636 billion altogether. As for the meme coin part of the 1.4 billion, there was a licensing agreement with Celebration Coins. There was a licensing agreement with Celebration Coins. This was 635 million. The digital revenues, the amount as for the digital revenues was 1 million. 635 plus 1 is $636 million, bro. 635 plus 1 is $636 million, bro. Crazy, all the way crazy, yo. This is scrufulousness. This must be opposed by everybody, bipartisanly, all across the board. This is nuts. This is dishonest. This is crooked. This is all the way transgressive, shameful, despicable, a deviation from morality, unbelievable, all the way. Yeah, his yeah. Yeah, it is crazy, bro. It is crazy. This dude, he violated both the domestic emoluments clause and the foreign emoluments clause. He violated both. For those who don't know what an emolument is, the definition is the profit, salary, or fees received for holding an office or performing employment. It is the profit, salary, or fees received. It is the salary, profit, or fees received for holding an office or performing employment. Facts. The domestic emoluments clause it says the president can't receive money from the federal government or any individual state government. He or she can't receive money from the federal government or any individual state government. The foreign emoluments clause says the president can't receive money from a foreign government. You forgot to say this. You can't. The president, he or she can't receive additional money beyond the presidential salary. The presidential salary is $400K. This is the salary POTUSes make, $400K. You can't make more than $400K. If you make more than $400K, you violate the emoluments clause. If you receive money from the federal government while serving as the president, you violate the domestic. If you receive additional money from the foreign government while serving as the president, you violate the foreign. Yeah, it is craziness, bro. He violated both. As for the nearly 122 million that was made by the national Doral, however you pronounce it, the Doral Golf Resort, the 122 million that was made by this resort. As for this, a certain percentage of it was unethically made. We don't know the precise percentage, but a certain percentage was unethically made. This is the truth. Secret Service members, they spent millions of dollars across his properties. Craziness, bro. Yeah, it is nuts. It is really nuts. He also received a $400 million jet from Qatar. This violates the foreign emoluments clause. You can't receive gifts or cash or profit from a foreign. You can't receive cash, gifts, or profits from a foreign government. If you do, you violate the foreign emoluments clause. He violated this. He violated both the domestic and the foreign. So he has to be held accountable for this. A lot of people, many pundits, many people, they really had so much antipathy for Leiden when that scandal happens. They have to have the same energy for the Trump family. If they don't, they are inconsistent. They have no scruples. They have no morals. They have no principles. They are bereft of scrupulosity. They are bereft of scrupulosity. It is what it is. Yeah, you have to check everybody who's doing corruption, dishonesty, scrufulousness, shadiness, avarice, rapacity, all of these things. You have to check everybody, every politicians across the board. If you don't, you have no credibility. It is what it is. Yeah, it is really terrible. Salutes to Brad for checking Trump. Salutes to the people across the board who are checking this dude. More people need to check him, but certain people won't because they're so biased. The MAGA puppets, they're so partialistic that they throw integrity all the way away, all the way in the garbage. This is removal worthy, political removal worthy, to be clear. This does warrant removal. This does warrant impeachment. It probably won't happen, sadly, but it does need to happen because he's done too much shadiness, corruption. Yeah, it is nuts. Yeah, Megyn Kelly, salutes to Megyn Kelly for checking the Trump family. She said they're grifty. She likes the Eric Trumps, the Don Juniors. She said she says she's fond of Trump's sons, but the family is grifty. She is correct. She is on point. She is based when she says they are grifty, but so is Megyn Kelly. This is where her hypocrisy comes in. This is where the hypocriticalness comes in, bro. She's saying the Trump family is grifty. Yes, this is true, but this lady, she's made money off from oscillating in her stances, her political stances, multiple stances. She used to be against Trump, then she hopped on the Trump train for money and views. She was very pro-Israel at one point, then she became anti-Israel, not for sincere reasons, but for increase in money, increase in wealth, increase in visibility, increase in reach, increase in popularity, all of these things. Yeah, insincerity, dishonesty, disingenuousness. I agree with the things she's saying when it comes to the critical things she says pertaining to the government, to Netanyahu, to the army, to Gavir, Smotrich. I agree with the negative remarks she says, but she's not airing these beliefs for genuine reasons. She's doing it for self-centered reasons, for her own benefit. This is trash to me, but it is what it is. Peace.